You are alive, my friend.
Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I am your host, Andy Lang, and today is a special one. It is our 11th birthday as a company, and we could not be more excited on this Monday to celebrate it with you because, honestly, we wouldn't be here without you guys. So first off, thank you so much, and happy birthday to Wager Talk. For more than a decade, we've been breaking down games, recording videos, podcasts, cashing tickets, helping you guys turn your bankrolls into a business, and we're just getting started. 11 more years sounds good. So on today's show, we'll get some thoughts on NFL preseason. If we can take anything away into the regular season, we will have MLB and, of course, college football look ahead. So let's celebrate 11 years the right way by finding some winners. And let's start off with Gianni. And we're going to talk the Steam report. After that, Krackman's going to join us, and then Steve Merrill's going to join us for Padres, Mariners, and college football, Nebraska, and Cincinnati. So hit the like button. Celebrate 11 years. Let's get off to a good start this week. Gianni, happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. How are you today?
Excited, man. Great weekend. I'm just sending out a plus 240 tennis bet to subscribers. I'll make sure you guys bet that quickly. You know those lines don't stay up quick. But more importantly, we had college football week 0. As expected, man, I'm really am with this football season, the NFL and college football groups that I'm working with. I'm so excited. We released only 8 bets, hit 64% of those. A nice ROI. So great launch. Usually that's the toughest week, that week 0, because those lines have been up for so long. But we were able to turn a profit, which is beautiful. And UFC turned the profit there. So it's been a good 7 days. Good week. Here's what we got today. So I have a WNBA, but there was only one big Steam play that confirmed on the side that I like. So I put that out to subscribers already as a 4% best bet. I only have 50 WNBA bets the entire 2025 season. Number one in profit, hitting 69% of those. And this is a 4%. And since we're having the 11th anniversary, I put it for $11. That's over there at Wager Talk. We have college football. I'd like to go over to Thursday and Friday Steam because I won't be here tomorrow and Wednesday with Contender Series and bet on it. And then later in the week, we could cover some of the big board on Saturday. And then, of course, there's Major League Baseball as well today.
Well, let's jump into college football. Let's go over Thursday and Friday. Seeing some pretty interesting moves. A couple of aggressive ones through some key numbers. What are you seeing on your end?
College football?
Yeah, college football. Thursday.
Yeah, here's what you got to remember with week 1. A lot of these lines have also been up for a while, like back in July and early August. So a lot of the value has been extracted. And more importantly, like I talked about with Kansas and Fresno State, once the line moves significantly, you start seeing resistance or a group coming in on the other side. You got to pay attention to that because, again, the information continues to come in. And when you're betting something in July, by late August, a lot of things can change. But here's what we have so far for Thursday and Friday. NC State, minus 11.5 all the way to minus 13. Those got bet in late July and early August. Also on Thursday, same situation. Rutgers from minus 11 all the way to minus 13. But then on Friday, Michigan State gets hit in July, late July, up minus 17.5, and then hit again this morning at minus 20. That's why you're seeing minus 21. That's what you want to see when you're betting these early moves in college football. And more importantly, when you're looking for confirmation, you want to see follow through. That's key. When you don't see resistance and it gets through that number, like a number like 20, 21, and you're not seeing take back, that's a strong side for that move. So that's what we have in college football. Again, it's light, but that's Thursday and Friday. We go over Saturday later in the week.
Love it. Listen, I only had one play in UFC, and if you turn a profit in UFC on this card, that is a take your money and run.
Yeah, and don't look back. Don't look back.
That had landmines all over it. So I was happy to stick with 1-0. I think as a company we did really good in UFC. So that was good. Only a couple games in WNBA. I'll do a prop here for that later. Let's move to baseball and take a look at some of these lines. There's only one that's a little confusing to me, but interested on your take, and I'll ask you about the line that confuses me. So what do you see?
All right. Keep in mind, 9 a.m. Pacific time in on the West Coast, but here's what we got with some of the overnights and early Major League Baseball moves. 9:51 under 8, Atlanta, Miami. 9:55 under 8, Arizona, Milwaukee, good to minus 120, 125, both of those. 9:57 Pittsburgh, plus 125. 9:60 Dodgers, minus 131. 9:68 White Sox, plus 120. 9:69 Angels, plus 160. 9:72 the Athletics at even money. Keep in mind, this is that time of the year where you're going to see a lot of two-way action on the money lines, a lot of manipulation. Most of the recreational bettors' attention has now shifted. It's now on college football and NFL, which we are now awaiting the regular season to kick off. Because of that, it's more or less the betting syndicates, sharps versus the books. That means you're going to see a lot of manipulation. You're going to see a lot of lines moving in one direction, then coming back the other way. Some of them being dummied up for the real hit to get bet later. You kind of saw that with Pittsburgh. If you're just looking at the line move, where it opened, where it sits now, you're going to say, wait, how did Pittsburgh get hit? But if you check odds logic, or at minimum, the WagerTalk free odds, and you click that game, you'll notice it did get to that 125 mark. 127, I think that's when they jumped in, took the 127s out, took the 125s out, and it almost looks like there's no movement at all from the opener to where it sits now. But it's that dummying up that you can do for minimal amounts of money, especially with overnights.
I'm curious on this line move on the Atlanta-Miami game. If you have any information on this, why would it have moved just slightly to the under? You got two pitchers that are getting shelled recently, and I see it opened at 8. Now it's down to 7.5. One book even has 7. If you have anything on that game, let me know, because that one just confuses me.
Here's what I can tell you, that as of right now, you have about one. I can't even say like 99. It's like 100% of the bets that have been booked on it, not sharp accounts. This isn't bots, are on the over in Atlanta, Miami,
okay.
Just so you know. So
Okay.
the bettors are taking over, but that under got the respect. So that's one of those kind of games where you have the sharps on one side, the public on the other, and it's tough to make a read, because you're like, wait, the public seems to have this one right? Like, how are these two teams going to put up less than 8 runs? Especially when you look at this pitching matchup where the guy for Atlanta has a 10.3 ERA in his last 5 starts, and Miami's not too much better. You know, it gave up 4 earned runs last start, 5 earned runs the start before that. So at least on paper, it looks like it's an over, but I think that may be some recency bias there that they may be looking at. You know what I mean? Like, you're never as good as you look or as bad as you look, and you have 2 pitchers coming off games where they look horrific. And maybe, again, I'm just guessing right now, but that's the only thing that could stick out to me, that maybe you see a little recency bias in that total. But yeah, I wouldn't be going under 7.5 right now. 8 maybe, but yeah, that confuses me as well.
It's like we said last week. The public's on one side, the line moves the other. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, nothing.
Seems
Easy,
like a surefire thing. Yeah, there's nothing to this. Couldn't get easier than that. Real quick, Gianni mentioned it earlier, guys, but we do want to tell you, all the handicappers can put up a play for $11 today that we're celebrating the 11th anniversary. Gianni has an $11 play up. I have an $11 play up as well. It's an MLB team total. But you can grab any handicappers. This is like an extension of a $5 Tuesday. So, and then after tonight, for 48 hours, you can take 11% off of any package that you want. Use a promo code 11 years. Right. That's 11 years, 3-day passes, NFL, college football, you name it, take 11% off. But we can start with $11 today. Gianni, what was yours again?
Yeah, I have a WNBA play up that just got discounted 60-70% off that I didn't know, but you could have it, and I hope we cash it. I also have my week 1 college football package already up, 4% in there, 3% in there. I have a 5%, but I'm not, until I confirm it, I'm not writing that there's a 5% on that, because a bunch of people are going to buy it. Then they're going to email support and say, where's the 5%? So until I get confirmation, it's a 4% package, which, wink, wink, you may want to lock it in for $29, because it'll be $39 as soon as that 5% goes in there when confirmed. And yeah, Season win totals are still up with division winners and Super Bowl futures for the NFL. That'll come down Thursday when the regular season kicks off, the following Thursday, that is. And yeah, I'll have my baseball up in a little bit as well. So busy week ahead. Contender Series tomorrow. Don't forget.
Any takeaways real quick before I let you go on NFL preseason? I don't know, anything we can take into regular season? Did we learn anything? Is it business as usual? Just curious your thoughts.
I really do. I think you got to tuck it away, especially, after week one, we're like, wait, everyone's approaching preseason different this year. These teams care or this matter. Then it's a small sample size of a couple games. So I think you need to tuck it away unless there's some key injuries that matter, and especially in teams that aren't deep. You want to look at that to kind of take advantage, circle those teams that coming into the season may not be healthy, those teams that are coming in extra healthy, maybe take advantage of that. Otherwise, tuck it away, start fresh with week one, but more importantly, be very patient because those week one lines in NFL have been up for months, and they've been bet into by a lot of sharp bettors. So you want to be careful there.
All right, Gianni, thank you so much. Glad you had a great weekend. Good luck on Contender Series tomorrow. I'm not going to talk to you. Grab any swag you can.
I told you. I got you, bro. I got you.
I love it.
They haven't put it up yet. They do it like around week. It should maybe be up now. I'll go and grab you some. But I already got you one of these. You can't get these.
Oh, nice.
Yes. You can't get
that's
these.
Perfect.
Bottled Dana Contender Series water.
That's
perfect. I got you. Don't worry. I'm building you a little box.
That's great. Gianni The Greek, everybody, thank you so much. We'll see you on Thursday. Good luck this week, brother. All right, Gianni The Greek. Hit the like button, guys. Hit it for Gianni. He's always bringing the energy. So let's go to Krackman. Let's keep it rolling here. Let's get some winners. He's got an MLB prop here. Bill, I'll pose the same question to you. NFL preseason. Any takeaways from it? Or are we done? It's out of our brains.
Yeah, no, it was a different year. I'm used to the last since I've been betting preseason professionally on a professional level, because at first it wasn't. Years ago there was so many questions about it, but now that social media is out and stuff, and you can follow these beat reporters and stuff, things have been really good. Thank God I recovered this week, 4-1 on preseason football, and that got me out for the season. So happy to have that. A lot of good first half information out there. In general, there's a lot of good information out there. But the first weeks were, had great line movement. Average 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8-point moves, and just didn't get the money. So we're very open, very honest about that kind of thing, and I'm always transparent. I always have full write-ups on everything. So I'm like Gianni just said, though, it's in the books. It's out. The customers didn't get hurt. I'm glad about that. I'm happy about that. And we're on to the regular season. So, here we are. Like Gianni made some great points about week one. These lines have been up for a while in the college. So even the NFL, the lines have been up for a while. So, I may even make my week 2 and up bets a little bit higher, a little bit stronger than I would on week ones. But yet, I'm going to have some NFL stuff week 1. That's I'm sure. I haven't bet yet. So as long as I haven't bet these games yet, the value is still going to be there. So I look forward to that. Perfect example. Like I bet like 2 totals 2 months ago. I bet a side. Like I bet the Colts plus like 1.5. I bet Minnesota plus 2. They're like -2. So you can't bet them now. And the move is already gone. So it's not like a line comes up on a Sunday night and then the next week you get the pounce on the line on Sunday night. I'll say more of Monday. Monday's the day I'll be releasing some plays. Monday and Tuesday when you're betting into a softer market and it's not as efficient. That's going to be my take this year on NFL and also college. So college will have up early and look forward to it.
MLB. Gianni mentioned, hey, a lot of the public's going to start, not paying attention to baseball. Do you see that out in Vegas as well, where the line movement is just going to be different?
It's funny. I had a pretty big week in baseball too. So, this was a good week for me all around. And baseball, maybe that is the case. I love playoff baseball. I grew up with baseball and boxing. That was my 2 sports as a kid back east. I enjoyed going to the events, going to the games, and I'm always going to be a baseball guy. So playoff baseball, nothing like it. I really enjoy it. But Football is everything. NFL is where it's at. That's where all the networks focus on and concentrate on. Maybe there will be a little bit of extra value there that baseball is not really looked at in that way. Starting maybe in this, coming up to this weekend here we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday college football action. So very good point. Very good point. I love watching Gianni, by the way. He's a cartoon character. I love him. He really is. He's great. He's a great watch, and I just listen to him because, a lot of the things I've been doing for the last 25 plus, I'll say 30 now, 30 years, I follow the same things he does. I have some of the sharpest groups in the world that I have worked with, and Gianni understands that. There's not a lot of people in this industry that's in our space that understands that. So. Really cool.
Let's do an MLB prop, and then I got a couple of questions I want to ask you more broad.
Yeah.
You always give us an MLB prop. Which one do you like today?
Okay, let's go to Cincinnati Reds. Hunter Green over. I just want to make sure it's still the right number. I want to make sure. Okay, over 6.5. It was minus. Yep. Okay, so Hunter Green over 6.5, minus 115 in strikeouts. Green goes up against a struggling Dodgers team. Imagine someone saying a struggling Dodgers team. But, listen, this team was projected to win 104.5 games, so which is insane that someone had that regular season wins. But so, yes, even though they're doing well and they're going to be in the playoffs and possibly, the World Series, I still say they're struggling. So let's go back to this. Hunter Green over 6.5 strikeouts, minus $1.15. Again, the Dodgers kind of struggling. They have the 7th highest strikeout rate in the last month. Since returning from an injury, he has thrown 85, 98 pitches in 2 starts. So I think, there shouldn't be any restrictions for this game, and he'll get the strikeouts there. So there's a free play for everybody.
Love it. I need to get your thoughts on this. I mentioned this to Teddy, but I really want to get all your guys' thoughts, the people I really respect in this industry. They just casually released that Malik Beasley is completely cleared of any wrongdoing. He's not even the target of this gambling investigation. For the Detroit Pistons, he loses a $40 million contract, and
amazing.
It was like a really, really big deal when they announced it. But now that he's been cleared, there's like nothing.
Yeah,
and it's like this just really, really. I don't even know where I'm going with it, but I jumped
to the
same conclusion.
Very good. It's like watching The Godfather when literally in court. So now you have Al Capone. Sorry about that. And you literally have the character of Michael Corleone in the courtroom, and it was big news when they were going after him, and then when all of a sudden now you have Frankie Five Angels totally forgets about the scene and says, "Oh, I don't know. I was fooling around." And now you have Tom Hagen standing up saying, "Wait, this court owes an apology. This court owes an apology." And that's exactly the case here. So no one talks about anything after it's over. They want to make a big deal of it ahead of time because, hey, that makes for good press about sports betting. And, of course, it makes for a great thing about, oh, my God, there's a scandal involving NBA players. And you're spot on about there. Excellent point, Andy. Now they kind of sweep it under the rug, and they look for the next dirt on an NBA or a Major League Baseball guy and put it out there. It's social media. It's these networks. So it's the way they present things. It's terrible. You're very good point. Very good point. Swept it under the rug now. The guy was cleared.
Yeah, I read one article. That was it. It was like, why are people jumping up and down about this? Like, we wrecked the guy's contract. Hopefully another team will sign. I don't know. I don't know where it was going. But somebody had asked about how did they first catch it? And it's the sports books that alert. Do you want to tell that how they kind of get caught? Because a lot of times it's the sports books.
Jimmy Vaccaro has talked about that. Jimmy just retired. He talked about that on many networks. When the Boston College scandal, Arizona scandal, these things the bets come into these towns. At the time back then, it was only Vegas taking bets legally. So it's the bets that are taking the unusual amounts on certain ways, certain teams from certain players. And of course, they're the ones that are going to report to the leagues and to the officials and to the people in charge that, hey, something's unusual going on here. We're getting betting activity only one way from many different groups. And they're the ones that actually tell these leagues that that's how they find out. And then it hits the press, though. Very good point, Andy. You're on today, buddy.
I try and be, but yeah, it's not like they're just looking at the game and being like, wait a minute, that seemed a little weird. Like they get the information from the books and then they go back and look at the investigation and such. So, last thing before we let you go, any thoughts on college or NFL teams that you're looking forward to trying to fade or support first couple weeks of the season right out of the gate?
Yeah, everyone thinks some of these teams are going to be so bad. I look at my regular season unders. I look at my bets, all of my season wins, under and overs. I have a lot of unders, and I'm looking at all these unders. I'm saying, well, someone's got to win. I mean, I got like 7 teams under. I have 1 team over, and I like betting those season wins under. I like looking against teams. It's going to be the same teams I've talked about before. People love the Bears this year. A lot of fan support here in Vegas, always on Chicago teams. And I'm against the Bears making the playoffs. I'm against the Bengals making the playoffs. So I think no playoffs for those teams, even though I love Joe Burrow. It's all about the money and making money. So I am probably, not that I'm anti-Cincinnati, I'm more anti-Chicago. And I like Minnesota this year. I like Minnesota to make the playoffs. So there's 2, but before I go, I really want to talk about my interview that just came up in the last hour on WagerTalk with Shohei Ohtani's assistant, Bookmaker. So John Orlando and I went out to his house in Orange County. Beautiful estate, unbelievable. He made us really feel comfortable there for him. We did the interview in his backyard, and I found some things very revealing. People are really going to appreciate his honesty and his candor. The guy's going to jail. What can you say? He's going to get at least 15 months at sentencing this Friday, and he's going to jail. If this wasn't Ohtani, the big name involved, I don't know if he'd go to jail because he paid a lot of money back, gave him $1.6 million already. They took $3 million in cash and stuff from his house, and he's very open about it. But he wanted people to rat him out. So I'm giving away some of the interview here. The government wanted him to rat out people, and he would have had 0 jail time. So they wanted him to rat out other bookmakers, agents, and things involved, and he didn't do any of that. So that's why he's going away. Ohtani's assistant, Ipe, he got 57 months, I believe, for I think that's the sentence he got. He's away already. So this was a really cool interview about how a bookmaker became living in a nice area on the California coast. People don't think California has bookmakers. Up and down that coast, from top to bottom, from San Diego all the way up to the top, past San Fran. There's bookmakers everywhere. So because there's no legal sports betting in California. So that's why the need for bookmakers all throughout there. So there is a great interview up, just came up. I'm going to put it on Twitter. I didn't put it on Twitter yet. It's about 1 hour and 20 minutes. And he was great on there. He was great. Talked about, like I said, his upbringing, what he did his whole life, how he became a street bookmaker. And I've known him for almost 20 years. I've been next to him when he was betting $200,000, $300,000 a hand at baccarat. I couldn't believe that they took bets like that. I didn't realize he made a bet on the Super Bowl. He was a big gambler. By the way, he gambled all this money away. In the end, the casinos got all the money that Ohtani paid him, or Ohtani's assistant paid him. The casinos got all the money. It's just like how the Ace Rothstein character says. In the end, they get it all. They're the ones that profited. Wait till you see his big Super Bowl. He bet 7 figures on the Super Bowl. He's one of the biggest gamblers I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. It's like the scene in Goodfellas when they get done. It's like, you didn't talk. The big crowd of people and Henry didn't talk in the movie.
Right.
So, Bill, what do you have up? It's $11 Monday. We're celebrating 11 years, 11-year anniversary for WagerTalk. What do you have up for everyone?
I just went to the site because I didn't know. I find out from you guys it's $11 Monday. So, you can even get me on there for like $11. So, so last week it says that the 16 units win, which people hate. They hate the report. A lot of people hate they only want to talk about your losers. So, anyway, big week last week. Football's here. You guys, like I said, I've been selling for many years, and This is the greatest deal ever. I see. Look at Teddy with the little hat. How cute.
I know.
This is how cute he is. So anyway, yeah. So this should be this should be a big season for us all, though. And we got some good baseball up on deck right now, and of course football. You guys have the almost unbelievable deal for to grab. Right now, you should grab a month. So start. I'll even say wait until like Friday and grab a whole month. That's the best thing to do. You'll be part of the NFL, college football. This is really going to be. I'm really pumped up for this season. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and thank you, Andy, for having me on.
Thanks, Bill. Bill Krackman. Continued success. Bill's number one last 3 days. I'm number two. Darn it. If Bill wasn't here, I'd be number one. Let's do all around the world here, Chris. Dana's on his honeymoon. The great Chris Allen. Chris Big Dog. He goes by Big Dog. So when I refer to Big Dog, I'm talking about Chris. All right, let's do, these all have a theme here. The free plays today. It's pretty obvious. Let's see if you can figure it out. All right, let's do a season total. Jahmyr Gibbs, over 11 rushing touchdowns this season. The Lions have rushed for 56 touchdowns the last 2 years. When they get in close, they run it. Gibbs had 10 his rookie year, 16 last year. David Montgomery has missed time. If Montgomery misses more time, Gibbs is just going to shoulder the load and get all those touchdowns. So let's go 11-plus rushing touchdowns. Aces at the Sky, WNBA. Asia Wilson, 11-plus rebounds. She's had 12 or more in 7 out of the last 8 games. Last 3 games against the Sky, 46 rebounds. She's averaging over 15 boards per game. So let's do Asia Wilson over 11.5 rebounds. Women's U.S. Open, Jacqueline Christian, 11-plus games won. She faces Danielle Collins. They played once last year. She won exactly 11 games. 4 of Collins' last 5 opponents have won 11 or more. And the last 3 losses for Collins were to opponents ranked higher than Collins. Let's do Diamondbacks and Brewers. Take the alt line, over 11 runs, plus 278. Rodriguez for Diamondbacks, last 8 starts, given up 30 runs. Woodruff has been good, but he gave up 3 runs in 4 1/3 innings last start. Only pitched 4 innings the last 2 starts. Diamondbacks bullpen, 5th highest ERA. And we're going to the Premier League. Newcastle at Liverpool. Salah will have a point. This is minus 140. 17 games against Newcastle. He has 18 points, and he scored a goal last week. All those props all involve the number 11. Salah is number 11. So that's your 11-year anniversary all around the world tribute. Let's bring on Steve Merril. Steve, you have to bring a free play involving the number 11 now. I just did 5.
I was hustling here, scrambling today. 2 $11 best bets on the MLB board up there, but I meant to bring my $11 bill, and I was like, should I bring a 10 and a 1 or 2 5s and a 1? I was going to say it's $11 money, and then I'll do 1/5 of a 5. That's 11, right?
There you go.
5.
There you
go. 11.
All right, so you've got $11 plays up WagerTalk, correct?
I've got 2 of them. So if you get them both, it's a double deuce. Mickey's Big Mouth. For those of our guys from the 90s used to like to drink the hand grenades. Mickey's, actually, the hand grenades weren't 22 ounce. Mickey's Big Mouth malt liquor. Google it if they're still in existence. But yeah, it's a great special. Happy 11 years. Almost a teenager. It's fitting that Prez was one of the people that started it 11 years ago, speaking of teenagers. And then Marco was the other one. Yeah, Teddy's photo is great there, but there's some things I could say about Brian Leonard, but probably get me in trouble with that photo. It's a little special looking with the thumbs up.
I like how they just put a party favor in Ronald's mouth.
Yeah, I know. Which one was fabricated? I can't. It all looks so real.
I know.
I hope Brian's was. Brian looks a little fabricated there too. It's kind of like, I don't know. He looks special. I'll leave it at that.
That's great. All right. So, Steve, we're going to talk Padres, Mariners. We're also going to talk Nebraska and Cincinnati. And let's start there. Nebraska and Cincinnati. Matt Rule, I believe, 3rd season for Nebraska, but he's got some new coordinators. Bearcats returned their coaches, but boy, they were not good down the stretch last year. Looks like Nebraska is pretty big favorites. They haven't reached that 7 number, but holding steady at 6.5. Over under 53.5. What's your breakdown on Nebraska and Cincinnati here?
Yeah, we had week 0, 5 1A games and 1 AA games as well. But week 1 really starts this Thursday night. We have a huge card on the betting board for Thursday night. And this is probably the spotlight game at 9 o'clock Eastern. It's a neutral field, by the way, Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Nebraska and Cincinnati. Really don't think there's a home field, obviously, for either team here. It's a true neutral. Nebraska opened 6.5, and as you said, Andy, it's holding 6.5. But if you look at some of the leading indicator books, BetOnline -117, Bookmaker -116. Pinnacle's sitting at 6.5 flat. So, but it does look like it's more likely to hit 7 than 6. So if you like Nebraska, I think you jump in, you lay the 6.5. Now, if you do like Cincinnati, you wait. The risk reward of getting 7 versus 6, which I don't think is going to happen anyway, is definitely worth waiting. So once again, play Nebraska now, play Cincinnati near kickoff. If I had to play now, I would lean Nebraska minus the 6.5. They're the better team overall, and I'm always going to side towards the better teams in week 1, especially with the transfer portal, the uncertainty. New defensive coordinator for Nebraska. That's kind of the uncertainty in this game. Both teams do return quarterbacks. Neither team was very explosive on offense. They were both decent on defense last year. But if you look at Nebraska, they got 10 starters back on this offensive side. I think they're going to be pretty tough there. And we have seen sharp money come in on the over in this game. Opened at 50.5 this summer. It's now up to 53.5. And I talk about those sharp books. BetOnline is 54.5. Pinnacle 53.5, juice to the over. So I'd say the sharp money is leaning Nebraska in the over. I would agree with both, but it looks like the sharpest is on the Cincinnati-Nebraska total over. And if you just did some raw math from last year, the total would be in the mid-40 range. So this is a bump higher. But once again, both teams return some offensive firepower, veteran quarterbacks, and you got a new defensive coordinator for Nebraska, which maybe that's a plus. But I think early in the season, without a preseason, without any other games, they might be a little step behind there. We don't talk a lot about team totals in college football. I know you do extremely well with them. But if I like Nebraska and I like the over, hey, why not play the team total over? And right now I'm seeing that around 29.5. So once again, that key number of 30, 31 would be working in your favor. So Nebraska team total over 29.5 actually might be the best way to attack this on Thursday night.
Don't you think for one second I haven't had my eye on that Nebraska team total over? Yes, absolutely. I got that one circled. I'll do a little bit more research on it, but yeah, team totals have been great. I just love team. We hit 73% of our team totals in college football lifetime. So,
and Andy, let me ask you real quick. I mean, I know you did great with them last year. What is your short, your back of a napkin handicap when you're looking at team totals? I mean, like for me, if I'm looking at a side and a total in a game, obviously whether it's baseball, any sport, that gives you some value probably with the team total.
I like teams that are very aggressive, even in blowouts. So I hammered Indiana last year with that coach and that quarterback, and Army early in the season. They continue in the fourth quarter. There is no let up on them. So I'm immediately looking for aggressive teams that want to make a statement. And then I'm looking at overs. And a lot of times when you're looking at team totals, look at the opponent first. Fade these teams with terrible defenses. Like, I'll tell you right now, the Cincinnati Bengals opponent, their team total, the opponent of the Bengals team total is just going to be an overplay. Like, you play it all season, it's probably going to hit 60, 70% of the time. That defense can't stop anyone. So a lot of times I'm looking at a defense I want to fade, and then I'll look and see if the offense can take advantage of it. So,
but you're looking mostly at team total overs, and it sounds like, right?
I've tried to do unders, and those garbage time unders are just nauseating. Just like a game's a blowout and the backup comes in and throws a touchdown. You're like, how did I lose this one? So, yeah, and I also find, Steve, and I know you do this too, like narrow what you're looking for. Like I'm only going to do overs and team totals. That way I don't have to worry about the unders. It's less to research, and you can get a lot more detailed in that research. So,
it's funny, Andy, because, when we're growing up, it's always like, the public plays favorites and overs, sharps play underdogs and unders, right? I went 10-3 last year to start college football, and I'll do it again this year. What I'm looking for is blowouts. I think almost every one of my plays was a 4 or 5 touchdown favorite the first 4 weeks in September last year. So I have that same mindset. And what I love about overs as well in all sports, especially the NFL nowadays, it's the only bet in all of sports, as long as the electricity stays on and the game goes 55 minutes, that you can win it by like the third quarter. And you get NFL games where you're almost within 3 points of the over by halftime, like some Lions games, Bengals, like you mentioned, whereas you're always sweating those unders. And, back in the 90s when I started, it was square if you're playing overs, sharp played unders, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, everything's changed. The transfer portal has changed everything along with NIL. So, yeah, it's a new age here. Let's go to MLB. Don't forget about MLB, guys. There's still money to be made here. Let's talk about the Padres and the Mariners. You got Sears for Padres, Miller for Mariners. Man, if we're just looking short term, these Miller's been awful for the Mariners, and Sears has actually gotten a little bit better, but both of them high ERAs. What's your breakdown here for Padres Mariners?
Yeah, if you actually look, Seattle struggled a bit over the years against Sears. So if I had to back one of these guys who have mediocre ERAs, I'd rather have Sears, and we're getting them at an underdog price, plus 105 with the Padres here. And it's also a team that's been in pretty good current form over the last couple months. In fact, just the last 30 games, the Padres are 19-11, one of the better records in baseball. We do still have the better pitcher on the mound, all things equal here. Sears a 4.9 ERA, but Miller, terrible, as you mentioned, 5.9 ERA this season. And what I'd like to look at now later in the season is guys that might be wearing down. Now, Miller's only pitched 53 innings, but he hasn't been very good. In fact, he had the injury back in late May or early June, actually. His last start was June 6th. He came back for his first start last week on the 19th, gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, gave up 2 home runs. Need to see something from him. Maybe he turns it around in the second or third start, but definitely not going to lay juice hoping that happens. And I think we get the better team. Better pitcher overall here is a slight dog tonight. So I do like the Padres plus 105 in this matchup. And one thing I'll mention about baseball is football starts this week. The full college football season starts, but we still have a third of the baseball season. We have over 2 months of baseball remaining. It's not anywhere close to being over. So this is a great time to get on board. And last year I finished on a 57-28 run on baseball best bets over the final few months. So don't sleep on baseball just because football is beginning. And right now you get the rest of August for free still when you sign up for September. That's this next week of August for free when you buy September All Sports. No promo code needed. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, listen, my $11 plays in baseball today. It's just it's a fantastic way to build the bankroll, even though you're not paying attention to baseball. Maybe you're focusing a little bit more on football. I mean, the money still spends the same. And like Gianni and Krack were talking, a lot of the public's out on baseball, so you almost end up with better lines and a little bit more predicting on the line movement here. So I will throw out, Steve, Padres team total is only 3.5. That seems like a mistake. So that seems mighty enticing.
Yeah, Andy, it's funny you say that because I did a video last week for the Dodger-Rocky game. I forget which one it was. Either the Monday or Tuesday. It was the first one, I think. And the total was like 11.5 or so. And the team totals were 7.5 and 3.5 because the Dodgers were a 300 favorite. And it was Monday because they lost outright. It was the game they lost outright as a $3 favorite last week. They were -1.5, -190, -2.5, -130. You could get the Rockies at +2.5 plus money. Rockies had won 5 of their previous 6 games. They're playing the best baseball they've played all season, which isn't saying much. And they're in the thin air and altitude. And their team total was 3.5. Now, I only got the 4, but it won. But I'm thinking of you when I saw that because, once again, I think people overthink things, right? Like a 3.5, we're not playing the under. It's over or pass. Maybe there is no value with the over, but you can only play the over. And I just mentioned that Miller has an ERA of almost 6 this season. Yeah, I mean, that's the only possible way. With that said, it probably is a 1-0 game now. But yeah, that's how you have to look at these things. Don't think that sometimes it seems too obvious because a lot of times it's just common sense. 3.5s, you're looking to play over or pass.
I'm laughing because I did have a team total in a game and the final score was 1-0 last week. The Red Sox and Yankees. It does. It's baseball. You're trying to hit 57% of your bets. You'll be best in the world. So, real quick before we let you go, did you happen to see the end of the NASCAR race and what?
I did not
Kyle
actually.
Larson?
I know Saturday in Daytona, and I usually turn on to watch the last 2 laps and then the overtime because that's all you need to see. But I did not see it this weekend.
So Alex Bowman was the only Hendricks car that wasn't going to be in the playoffs because he doesn't have a win. But he was ahead in points, but he got in a wreck earlier. So at the end, they needed somebody to win the race who had already won. Right. So Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott are up front, and they're bumping dudes out of the way that haven't won a race. And they push Ryan Blaney to the win because he had a win, and they snuck their teammate into the playoffs.
So Bowman got in on points.
People were livid. It was hilarious. It was so
will NASCAR do something about that, you think?
Of course not. It's a race at Daytona. They got a big name in.
Plus, exactly. It goes back to like the Ohtani conversation you and Krack were just having, is that they got Bowman in versus some no-name winning the race. Exactly.
Yeah, you want Bowman or Ryan Preece in. It's pretty easy. Right. so
Preece gets no love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One more time, tell everyone what you have up, Steve. Great job today. Great segment.
Yeah, so speaking of NASCAR, Andy and I started over 5 years ago. 11 seemed like a long time, Andy, and then I realized you and I have been doing this for over 5 years. We've been there half of the time at Wager Talk, but seriously, it's the 11th anniversary of WagerTalk.com, and to celebrate, all best bets are $11. So I've got my 2 baseball best bets. Normally it'd be $50 to get both of them. You get them each for just $11 tonight on Monday. Or if you'd like to get them for free, the only thing better than $11 Monday is Free Monday. The rest of August free when you buy September. All sports, all access. That's football and baseball every day. No promo codes needed. Check it out. Oh, and by the way, bonus free play every day. Bonus free play on my page. Tonight's is in the Twins Blue Jays game. Free play in the Twins Blue Jays as well on my page. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM.
Steve Merril, everyone, closing out a great show on Monday. Good luck, Steve. Have a great
Andy.
week, brother. All right, that's going to do it for Monday's show. My $11 play is an MLB team total. Last play we had was on Saturday, and the team total, it gets over, and we're looking to do it again. Laid off of team totals yesterday. I don't play them on Sundays. I've already played this one with my own money. So $11 over there. WT.buzz/AL is the shortcut. Don't forget to join us tomorrow. Same time, same place. We're going to go over some more college football, MLB. I'll do Dana White Contender Series on tomorrow's show, but the full video for Contender Series will be up later today once we get through with weigh-ins. I know you guys are excited for that. All right, thanks so much for joining us. Hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Amazing. When Steve and I got here, I think we were celebrating like 30,000 subscribers, and now we're at 212,000. So we are pumping out a ton of videos, individual game breakdowns for college football, for NFL, still for MLB. So you hit that bell, you get notified when these videos come up. That way you get the best of the number as soon as these videos come out. Thanks everyone for joining us. Great show. Shout out to Gianni, Krack, and Steve. Thank you so much, guys, in the chat. Great job as always. We're going to do it again tomorrow. Good luck on your bets tonight, and take care.